Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk about the different types of reading. All kinds of reading has its own categories. By the way, there are 10 benefits of reading. I discussed that on my last video. As you can notice, that this is the continuation of that video with regard to the benefits of reading. Because before you write a book, you must have to read a lot of books around in the library, inside your room, or books that are really related to your niche. So, this video intends to discuss the different types of reading. But before that, let us have first simple recall of how reading is important. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body, according to Joseph Addison. So if you read, you use your mental capacity. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. So there is a mental exercise and there is also what you call physical exercise. Because if you read with reason that is scientific or educational, while reading, you exercise also the nerves, the different kinds of diorites there, the different types of cells there inside your brain. Because if you reach the age of 75, okay, your cells becomes shrink. What does it mean? It is no longer a active as you are when you are in 20s, 30, 40 years old. But of course, people getting older needs exercise of mental capacity. What do? You solve Sudoku, you read some books for relaxation, right? So, what is the first type of reading? Number one, we have intensive reading. Intensive reading is one of the methods of reading that people use for relaxation and pleasure. Adopt this method when the purpose is to enjoy the reading experience. It places no burden upon the reader, and due to its indulgent nature, it is seldom used if the text isn't enjoyable. This is one of the methods of reading that occurs naturally. It is how you read as a child and while growing up. So that is extensive reading. You practice when you were in the early age, for example, 2 years old, tries to read a book extensively. Now, the opposite of extensive is intensive. Okay, number two, intensive reading is used when you want to read carefully by paying complete attention to understand every word of the text. It is where you would examine and decipher its unfamiliar word or expression. As the term states, intensive means the word intensive implies a certain degree of, you know, understanding, the level of understanding. You want to look at the depth meanings of a certain text. You can use also what you call contextual clues, that is intensive reading, because you are looking for the depth meaning of each term. Okay. Number three, we have what you call scanning. Imagine if you went to the museum only to see the Mona Lisa. You quickly walk through all the corridors and rooms, merely glancing at the walls until you found it. Scanning is quite similar to that. You have only the glancing manner. It is one of those kinds of reading where you read to search for a particular piece of information. Your eyes quickly skim over the sentences until you find it. You can use this method when you don't need to go deep into the text and read every word carefully. Scanning involves rapid reading and is often used by researchers and scanning. It is just like to pinpoint the words that you wanted to look for and the words that are very unfamiliar to you. You can use your scanning to look for the in-depth or implication of the text. And then we have number four, skimming. One saves a lot of time through this method. One will gain only a shallow understanding of the text. Skimming is a great way to get a broad idea of the topic being discussed. This method is generally used to judge whether the information is useful or not. You have to pick and leaf through the pages. Okay? You take only the headings of the pictures to get a broad idea of what the magazine covers. And this is very difficult. Critical reading, number five. Among the types of reading strategies, critical reading has a special place. The facts and information are tested for accuracy. You take a look of the ideas mentioned and analyze them until you reach a conclusion. Now, this critical reading can be subdivided into levels of understanding. Because as you read, you should understand what it's all about. You just like only to read the text without putting here. So there is reading, there is understanding. Now, what are the levels of understanding after you read something? First level is literal. You look the word by word, sentence by sentence of the meaning, literally, literal. Okay? And then if you go to the second level, comprehension. What does it mean? You give the meaning now of this word from the text with correct comprehension. And then you go to the next level, your analysis. Analyze the sentences carefully, then synthesis, and then application. Now let's go back to the other types, but we want to concentrate on these five levels. Literal, comprehension, what else? Application, yes. Analysis and synthesis. Since these are the levels of the first level is the ground level. And then you go to the second step, comprehension, and then application, analysis, and synthesis. Okay. If we have application, the third level, you can proceed to the synthesis or analysis. So, reading is also important in facing our pandemic issues, health problems, because if you do not know how to read what is written or how does this pandemic affect our routine, I guess there will be a chaos. More so if you take only the words literally. You're always on the level one. The level of understanding is always on the ground. You cannot step up. You should move up, not only moving, okay, continue moving on, but you also have to move up. The moving up is important than it is moving on and moving on only. Okay? Moving on is different from moving up. because that is a levelized, okay? There is ladderize. When you say ladder, there is a continuity of understanding. So, good luck. Please subscribe, like, and share my YouTube channel, Over Saray, and of course, my Covidator 21 Reyes, another channel. And please also like, share, and subscribe that YouTube channel, Covidator 21 Reyes. Thank you very much and see you for the next video. Happy reading!